What did it feel like to step onto a stage in front of a full parrot head crowd for the first time? And how did it evolve for you through the years?
Okay, this question right here. Oh, this one right here. This one right here. Remember, we'll reverse back to the first question, right? I've never seen the parrot heads. I don't even know that name yet, right? I don't know. I've never seen Jimmy Buffett's concert. I've only heard Margaritaville, right? So when I got out there, and I'm not talking about the dress rehearsal. The dress rehearsal was in an auditorium in South Carolina. It was very little people, maybe a few hundred people coming to it. No. I'm talking about the first time we went to concert. Oh my, it blew my mind. I was seeing, I think, 15 or 20,000 people, first of all, in an amphitheater. And I'm coming out on stage first. And I was like, oh my gosh. I'm looking at the people from the backstage area off the side of the stage. I have never seen anything like this. I've been to so many concerts before, and I was like, what the heck? This is different. Like, there, people were in costumes and there were beach balls all. I'm like, wait, what is this? This is cool. Oh my God. So I'm experiencing something that I had no idea was going to happen. I had no idea. And I was like, do you see what's going on? And they're all laughing at me backstage. Like, you've never seen this? I'm like, no. So it was unbelievable. This was the coolest crowd I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe it. I've never seen any people like this in my life, ever. When I finally met the parrot heads, it was like, now I feel like I've literally stepped into the realm of an unknown world that was coming out of a Pandora's box that literally took me into these realms that I had no idea about. And I was so freaking excited. And this was it. Like, I felt like they're weird, they're strange, they're odd. And I freaking felt just exactly like that. And I was like so excited, and it's just like, this is so cool. You could be yourself because you don't have to be anything else. And that is what was so freaking cool about these people. I love the parrot heads. Then when I learned about the name parrot heads, I was like, wait, what? They're called parrot heads? Now I was blown away. I was just blown away. Everything was all coming in, and I just was so excited to be part of such a special group of people. There's nobody like them. These people literally are one of the special light beams on this planet. You know why? Because not only did they come to these concerts, not only did they support his entire purpose and mission and his creativity and his whole foundation and all of the band, these people literally come together on their off time, and they literally, they do charities. They do environmental charities. They do charities for animals. They do charities for people that are homeless. They do charities for people that are in wheelchairs. These people are beyond. These people are organized, amazing tentacles of an amazing support system. This foundation was beyond anything that I've ever experienced. Yes, you have Britney Spears fans. Yes, you have Michael Jackson's fans. They take the cake. This is a whole nother dimension. These people are real, genuine people that have purpose, and they are ready. They are ready on this planet. And you know what? I see them every day. They still work. They still do this. They still come together. All the bands, the trop rock bands, all the people in Key West, all the people that just supported this whole Margaritaville venture, everybody, they still come together. They still provide. They organize. They do these things, and they're doing it out of their hearts. They do it because this is who they are. And you know what? To be connected to that is something absolutely extraordinary. And I am grateful that was the wildest thing I've ever experienced. It was beyond. So yeah, the Parrot Heads are they're literal rock stars.
Was there one city, venue, or night on the road that still stands out in your memory? One that you've never forgotten?
Oh, wow. Anna, that's a tough question. That's a really tough question because there's so many amazing cities and you just like go and each one is so special. Like everything. There was so many special things about each city, like all the Parrot Heads and different. It's just, wow. Okay. All right. Here's the one that really stands out. And the only reason it stands out for me personally is the first time that I was able to perform for my mother, my father, my brothers, my grandmother, and all of their friends and family. I think I got them VIP tickets, like, I don't know, there was like 21 of them or 25 of them. They were like in the, 10th row or something. I can't remember, but they were there. And my grandmother is in anybody that knows me and saw Club Trini, because anybody that knows Club Trini, we would go out before the show and we would do, Club Trini before the show. And my grandma would be there in her wheelchair. She stood up for me that night at Encore. And that took my entire soul because, she had a leg amputation. And when I saw her standing up and cheering and screaming and loving it, and like that just took me. Like I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, but that right there, my hometown people, there were people from my hometown there. They wrote me after. I saw an individual that I went to school with, and he actually recently passed away, Ken Abel, and he had made it mid backstage a little bit. He was trying to find me. He got through because Charleston and Hallie, the bodyguards, said, hey, there's this guy, there's this guy out there and he says he knows you from school, but I don't know, I don't know. And he was trying to get in. And I said, well, who is it? He's like, I don't know who the guy is. So I took the golf cart. We made it to the gate and it was like, oh my God, there's Ken Abel. And I went to school with him and we had class together. And Ken, he literally took the time to come to the gate to see if the security guards would let him in backstage, to come and find me, to just see me. And we did. I got him on the golf cart and we took a ride backstage and I got him backstage. He couldn't believe it. He was so excited. It was awesome. It was awesome. And then I heard recently on Facebook, maybe like about, 8 or 9 months ago, a year ago. I apologize to all my people in Virginia and Stafford and Fredericksburg. Ken, by the way, I'm my condolences to Ken, but the hometown people, when they came and my family, it was just, I saw my brother and my other brother and my dad. It's like, come on, you see these people that are just your dear people. That is really the first time that they saw. They came every year, but it was the first show that they've ever seen. Because I was like, wait till you see this show. You're going to freak out. And they did. They really freaking did. It was a blast. It's a blast. So yeah, performing for the first time for my family and seeing them right there, a few rows back, and really happy. And, coming from a rural place like I did and being on the big stage with Buffett, yeah, I would say that was a winner for me.
Which songs in particular were the most thrilling to perform live? And what made them so exciting on stage?
All right. Well, okay. So I performed, we all performed all these songs. There are some favorites of mine. Each tour has different choreography for a different song, but I'd have to say my first favorite is Harbor. One particular harbor took my heart. Something about that song always resonates with beauty, elegance, serenity. It's a tone, it's a vibe, it's a purity, it's something, that really just vibrates in me. And that was a very special piece of music. And to be on the stage vibrating with all the band and stuff, it's amazing. La Vie Dansante, beautiful, stunning. Again, classic, beautiful, pristine, elegant energy, almost like a teardrop in a sky, a night sky. Something about that song can just, the soul, it's vibrant, it's elegant, it's stunning. Let's see, the fun stuff. Fins was fun. Fins was a fun, that was a freaking fun. That was always a fun. I mean, when you heard Fins coming up, when that whole audience hears Fins and their arms go up, that's beyond. That is like a wave of sharks out there. There's 20,000, 50,000 sharks. You're seeing Fins out. I mean, you can't deny that right there was energy. That right there was hysterical, amazing, fun, epic, total freaking crack up, loving it energy. That vibe was real rockin'. That was just crazy. Every musician took it to the stars to that one. That was all. Jimmy was a freaking fun. That was too much. He was overboard. I loved it. It was like, let's go overboard on that one. That was a fun one. It was just too good. Too good. He was too good. I loved Mexico. I loved coming spinning out in Mexico. Jamaica Mistake was fun. Jamaica Mistake was hysterical. Get drunk and screw. I mean, come on. That was stupid. Those were fun things. Those were, total fun skits. All the skits that we did. Oh, looking at Mike Utley, Robert Greenwich, always looking at Ralph. I was, those songs really are fun, Of course, Hot, Buster Poindexter at the beginning of the show. That always was a fun light, to just dance to and get the show going. That was a pump up. 5 o'clock somewhere. That came around and it was like, wow, this is that was a cool song. Every song is amazing, Oh, I love Trip Around the Sun. When Martina McBride came on tour with us, that was, oh God, it was so special. What a beautiful soul. What a beautiful voice. When they did that song together, oh, that song right there for birthdays, that's like, that is just touching. Very touching. Those are some pretty fun songs. I love them all. Love them all.
How did you keep your energy and precision night after night?
That's a good question. Well, I tell you what was really cool is when I started the tour, they had Fiji water everywhere. I mean, Fiji water, there was bottles everywhere. So you could just, we were living off, I think they still do, Fiji water was our main source of water. So, it was high frequency water. It definitely elevated our cells, and that really helped a lot. When I first started the band, I was a heavy meat eater, and, I actually didn't know what a vegan was. And Tina kind of introduced me to veganism. And then there were other band members that were vegan as well. I think, Peter Mayer, Jim, Amy Lee was doing some vegan stuff. There was a few more people that were doing vegan stuff. And I was like, what is that? But anyways, I didn't know what that was because I was, about a year or two later, I became a micromanaged vegan, and I have been there ever since. I left that whole lifestyle, and now I've been a vegan ever since. So on tour, Jimmy really took care of the band and all the people around him, the band, the crew, anyone backstage, the people that were working on set, basically at the tour venues, things like that. But he would have a major catering. It was a big for the Kings, It was a really powerful catering. So, we could take a couple of sandwiches, or we could take things back to the hotels and things like that. But we ate very well. lots of fruits in the backstage area, vegetables. I mean, you could write on the writer what you wanted backstage, anything that I wanted, it could be there. So again, there was always a whole bar of wine and things like that stored, but I didn't really drink like that, for the show or anything. But there was waters, there were juices, there were fresh pressed juices, there was all sorts of cool things. There was always platters of, and dips and hummuses and all these homemade things that these special catering people would make, and everything would be so perfectly delicious, and they were just so sweet, and everybody was genuinely so nice in the catering. They're just so giving and warm. And, we ate well on our days off, and we, you just keep fit and eat well and clean. And, we do have to eat very well though, because those shows do take a lot of energy. So we ate, we did eat before those shows and after the shows. So we would be on our, quick outs, and we would be on the Falcon Jets or the G5s or G4s or Citations, and flying to the next venue, to the next hotels for the next shows. And yeah, we would have amazing food on the planes. So everything was very well taken care of. All the logistics were superb, like literally superb, like 5-star. So, from a good friend of his, Charlie Hood, he was a great guy that, helped with that too. He was, one of Jimmy's, dear friends. And, everybody just took care of everybody, and it was a great thing. But we ate really well. I ate really well. Loved it. The foods were awesome. So yeah, it was we kept our energy up that way. We had a lot of coffee too. I love coffee, fine coffee, especially the one that was the $85 a pound Peabody at the Mandarin Oriental. That one was delicious. Yes, I did say that, Mandarin Oriental. You heard me right. I did say the Peabody Kona. Yeah, but yeah, we definitely took care of ourselves. Everybody ate very well. So
people saw the fun, laid-back beach party atmosphere on stage. But what did it actually take behind the scenes to make it all look and feel that effortless?
Well, first of all, the direction of Jimmy, of course, was always primary focus, and his amazing direction. He's the captain of the ship, always was, always will be. And he had some amazing people surrounding him. His stage managers were very, very special. They always made sure that the lights and the backstage, the backdrops, the paintings of the backdrops, all of it was just superb. The crew was absolutely amazing. Absolutely beyond amazing. They were meticulous. They were very safe and solid. Everything was always fluid. There was no one time on that stage that I didn't feel safe. Although there was that one time when we were all brought together right before the show. And it was right before the show. Like, it could have been like 20 minutes before the show. And we got an urgent call, and we all had to come together. And Jimmy was very serious. He closed his arms, he crossed his arms, and he was, very serious. And there were these agents surrounding us with black suits, black glasses, and they had ear buds in their ears and microphones and stuff around them. And obviously we didn't know what was going on. It was the whole band, and also the crew were starting to surround, and of course the managers and things like that. And he just said, listen, there's been some threats, and we are going to go with the show. We're going to go on with the show. If anyone feels uncomfortable with this, I want you to, if you need to leave the stage, you are eligible to do that. And he said, we're taking this extremely serious, and these agents will be surrounding the stage. They are able to go anywhere they need to or want to. And, you know, obviously it looked and seemed like they all had bulletproof vests on and things under their suits and stuff. It was serious. And I just remember Roger Guth looking at me like, are we supposed to do this? Looking around. And, you know, it wasn't comedy, but it was serious. And we were that was frightening, you know. But, you know, we did it, and we just kept going. And thankfully, everything worked out, and it was a smooth ride. But as far as like the crew and what they did and provided, and the managers, Tom Batista, Vanderslice, you know, the engineers, everybody that was just involved with this, everything was wonderful. They really genuinely had everything to a T. And I know that they worked their, you know, they really did. They had a lot to do. And you know what's really cool is Jimmy really did take care of his people. I'm going to tell you, he really, really took care of his people. Like really. So yeah, they just really made it smooth in the backstage, and you felt confident that nothing was going to fall, or, you know, nothing was going to come down, or everything was just so solid. Like it was literally like perfect, like just a setting, and everything was magical and literally perfection. So it was always like that. So the crew is just, it was a superb crew. I can't imagine anybody being any better than that crew altogether. Yeah, of course, there's going to be single people that are great, right? But I'm talking about a full team that was that magical, you know? It was real, like they're just perfect. The, you know, Stan, the director, the videographer director, and then all the cinematographers and the videographers and the editors and all that magic in itself, that was fluent. And they had a lot of work. I mean, they did it. They did that. You know, they did it. They would cut and edit and they just made things happen. And it was awesome. So, you know, and then you had our wardrobe, Helen, and, you know, Cindy, you know, from Minnesota, and magic, you know, it's like literally snap a finger and literally it would be, how did you get that? You know, how did you do that? You just made that happen. So everybody was just really like, it was a team of individuals that did not resist each other. And people really wanted to make magic for this whole magical empire. And we did it. And it was beautiful. And just, I don't know, it all flowed. It all flowed. And Jimmy, you know what? We all owe it to Jimmy, because without his leadership, without his guidance, without his patience and his everything that he provided, it's like, you know, and he didn't have to worry. He didn't have to worry about it, because he knew that this crew, this pirate ship of pirates we're going to put the sails together, and all these sails are coming together, and we are literally going to have the best pirate ship on the seas. And it's going to be magical. We're taking it to the stars. And we did. And they still do.